this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com. That's KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com, or Linktree at King Simon the Numerovation. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for mental stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com. Go now.
Oh man, we got a show for you tonight. Oh, we got the one, the only Professor James Smalls coming in tonight. Make sure you share, like, and we're going to do what we like on this show tonight as we speak on something very highly important, honoring ancestors in the age of HAPI. If you don't know what the age of HAPI is, the age of HAPI is misnomer Aquarius. So we're going to be going into the age of HAPI and why the HAPI Valley and all of it is so important. We got Professor James Smalls with us tonight, and our brother Taaqiy might be passing through tonight also, for executive producer of HAPI, the HAPI executive producer. He might pop in a little bit. I know they're with Anthony T. Browdy right now. So remember, if you want to show love to our historian and scholar and so much more in our community, spread love via Cash App right now. Make sure you hit $ Dr. James Smalls right now. Dr. James Smalls, $ Dr. James Smalls. Hit him up on his Cash App. Show him how much he means to you, how much his information and his knowledge that he's been dropping on us for many years, almost, as a matter of fact, 50 years. He's been doing his thing, I'm telling you. So big up to him, of course. Just want to remind you, this coming Wednesday, we have a special broadcast. Me and the team, we got a special broadcast this coming Wednesday where we will be talking about and unpacking menopause. And of course, we got Priestess Yendez coming in with the menopause goddess. She's going to break it down and say, stop suffering in silence, become a metaphor goddess. That's right. Priestess Yendez will be with us on Wednesday, December the 8th. And it's going to be live and direct right here on K.S.P. TV and King Simon Presents TV. You know how we do. Make sure you subscribe, like, and do what you like. Also, my partners and vibes all the time. I think they're not going to make it through tonight, but it's all good because they got things to do. So big up to Sister Nujurney and Sensei Sherly. That's usually pops up with my co-host for the mostest. You know what it is. Also, just want to remind people of what Sister Sherly does, Sensei Sherly does. She does actually health insurance. And if you are someone who needs health insurance in the tri-state area, make sure you contact her via email. That's sherlystc@gmail.com. That's sherlystc@gmail.com. She does take her and check her email at least every 24 to 72 hours. So give her some time and she'll reach out to you, get some nice health coverage. It's always a difference of you going on a bed when you go to the hospital, or you might end up on a bench. That's how they do it. Also, big up to our sponsor return, the one, the only BetterHealthShop.com. That's BetterHealthShop.etsy.com. Let me put their thing on the fly right here so people can see who they are and what they are. Of course, BetterHealthShop.etsy.com. That's Etsy.com. Let me make sure I spell that right, because I think there's a misspelling right there. Let me move that T out of the way. There it is. That's it. There it is. That's what I wanted to put up there. BetterHealthShop.etsy.com. Now, for all the flu seasons and the vaccine seasons and all that's going on, they got burdock root, they got sea moss, they got sarsaparilla root, they got DE, detoxification, to detox your body. Make sure you go to their website, and if you want a consultation with them, make sure you text them or call them at 1-800-820-7822. That's 1-800-820-7822. And of course, if you want some great products for fibroids, head problems, anything dealing with the sisters' bodies, make sure you contact pedalwise.com. That's pedalwise.com. And use the 10% off code. That's King2021. That's my 10% off code, King2021. Also, big up to my brother Lloyd Strayhorn, the one, the only Lloyd Strayhorn. If you want to get any of his books, you want to do a numerology session or astronumerology session with him, or you want to take his class, all you have to do to go to lloyd-strayhorn.com. That's lloyd-strayhorn.com. And remember, tell him King Simon sent you, and he'll show you some love. People, if you're looking for your own realtor who can hook you up and got a great personality, and they can give you some consultation and advice how to buy your first property or buy more property, contact Janelle Lewis right now. That's contact Janelle Lewis. Text her at 347-866-1153. That's 347-866-1153. And tell him King Simon. Tell him King Simon sent you. She can help you with whatever you want. And also, if you are a journalist or you want to bring that author outside of your backside, contact this beautiful sister right here, Susie Script. Susie Script is an editing service that can help out those authors, journalists, bloggers, and much more. All you have to do is give her a call at 914-361-9467. That's 914-361-9467. And you can email her at susies.scripts11@gmail.com. That's susies.scripts11@gmail.com. And tell them again, Simon sent you. If you want to take my Numerovation course, my holistic Numerovation course, guess what? It's coming to Udemy, but it's only going to be 3 parts. And the full course has 9 phases, 9 parts. I'm telling you, family. So you could take the part course on Udemy, or you can get the 9 phases right here. But the part course on Udemy is going to be very informative. Also, big up to Jackie Levine, who's helping me with that. And if you want my books, you can purchase all my books through my link tree right there at the bottom. That's linktree/King Simon the Numerovator. That's linktree/King Simon the Numerovator, and I'll hook you up. Don't forget, if you want to do a Numerovation session with me, all you have to do is text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. Remember, I do have a waiting list, so don't play with me. Take your time, be patient with your brother, and I will hook you up. Of course, content disclaimer: the views, comments, opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters or its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. And also, disclaimer, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Okay, family, how you feeling? How you feeling? I'm in the building. I'm in the building. I'm in the building. After all of that, after all of that, after all of that, after all of that, after all of that. How you doing? How you doing? Let me remove this off the front page right here. Let's remove this off the front. What's up, family? What's up? What's up? What's up? Honoring our ancestors today. Are you honoring your ancestors? I'm honoring my ancestors. Are you honoring your ancestors? I'll drink to that. Ah. That's some strong water, man. Got something in it. How y'all doing, family? All right, where y'all hailing from? Where y'all hailing from? Let me see which part of the world y'all hailing from. Are you in England? Are you in Africa? Are you in Canada? Are you in America? Where are y'all hailing from to see Baba James Smalls tonight? Where are y'all hailing from? Which part of the world are y'all at? We're broadcasting on Facebook at King Simon. We're broadcasting at on YouTube at KingSimonPresents. That's K.S.P. TV. Where are y'all at? Okay, tell me where y'all at so we can talk about your cities, your towns. Baba Smalls will be coming up in the next 5 minutes. It's now 55 minutes after the hour, 5 minutes before the top of the hour. It's your brother King Simon, and we got a special show for you tonight. Let me take that off. Let me turn that down right now. Well, family, you know, I had a wonderful weekend, of course, and I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Big up to all those people that be hitting me up on IG and watching me do my numerovational flybys on IG. Hey, look, I'm having a good time, man, and I want all of you to have a good time. That's why I do what I do, so you can have a good time doing what you do. See, I try to motivate you with your numbers so you can get the full gamut of what you are and who you are through your numbers, or at least get a glimpse of who you are and what you are. Big up to Houston, Texas. Man, I love Houston, Texas. I was over there at the Shrine of the Black Madonna, man, and they was tearing it up, man. Matter of fact, Baba Small spoke at the Shrine of the Black Madonna, and I was there for my birthday like 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I was there at the Shrine of Black Madonna. So big up to Texas. Texas is in the house. Thank you, Texas. Kim, what's up, girl? How you doing? How you doing? Wendy Williams. Oh, man. Big up to Wendy, man. Spoke to Mr. G, and, Wendy is doing what she got to do to try to heal herself. Mr. G is one of the executive producers of her show. If you don't know who Mr. G is the one that wrote that book about Dr. Sebi. So big up to him. Buffalo, New York. Haven't been to Buffalo in a long time. That's where Rick James is from, Buffalo, New York, and so is the late great Frankie Crocker. They're from Buffalo, I think. Also, is he from? Yeah, I think he's from Buffalo, and I think also the one, the only Gary Bird, Imhotep Gary Bird is from Buffalo also. So big up to them. Big up to all of them and what they do and how they do, all those radio jocks that's out there in Buffalo. Chicago, I haven't been to Chicago in a long time. I performed for Minister Farrakhan in Chicago back in the day, back in the 90s when I was in the Nation of Islam. So big up to the Chi-Town crew all the time. Where you calling from, where you hailing from. There's 34 people so far and more coming in. Remember tonight, well, right today, we got the one, the only Baba James Smalls coming in. That's right. He's coming in. He's coming up. Professor James Smalls. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. That's why I didn't really have a topic on the flyer, but the topic that I did come up with, especially about your ancestors, honoring ancestors in the age of HAPI. Woo! According to many great Kemetic scholars, the age of HAPI is the Aquarian age. So we're going to be talking about it, family. We're not going to play with it. We're going to talk about it, and we want to make sure you understand what you need to vibrate, what energy you need to vibrate in this age of HAPI. Very important that you realize this, because I'm the Numerovator, so I understand what it means to be happy, but I also understand the age of Aquarius, where it deals with technology and the rebel energy and rebelling against being a rebel with a cause without pause. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we need to do. One of the greatest rebel energies that was also an Aquarius, misnomer Aquarius, which is a happy energy, was the late great Bob Marley. Big up to Bob Marley and his spirit. He was a rebel with a cause. You know what I'm saying? He was a rebel with a cause. So enough respect to whatever. And let's see who else is in that chat, that I can say something. We go Wisconsin. I've never been to Wisconsin. Big up to Wisconsin. We got Edmonton. Big up to Edmonton. Big up the people from Edmonton. Show all the love. I see Vicky in here. I see Ya, Asante Wa, Zulu L in the building. What a long name, girl. Man, I'd like to read that numerology. I'd have to break those numbers down just to show you. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that's a long spiritual name right there. So big up to everybody that's coming in. 33 Kelly MC, what's up? Give y'all all a well-deserved round of applause for coming in. Again, we got Baba James Smalls coming in momentarily. Give him like 1 more minute. He'll be popping in. I already did the test with him. And if you do want to spread some love, you're more than welcome to spread love. That's my Cash App. That's my PayPal. Spread love. Via Cash App, that's $ King Simon 3158. That's $ King Simon 3158. And via PayPal, that's paypal.me/King Simon. That's paypal.me/King Simon. Take the time, if you enjoy the show, take the time, do me a favor and take the time out and like, and share. This is what we need to do. Please please thumb up the video, please share the video if you like what we are teaching here, what we try to show you. Big up to all of you that come out. Remember, and respectfully, this is a troll-free zone. So trolls, please take a stroll somewhere else. I ain't got no time for it. I will delete you, block you, throw you into the block party. I used to love block parties when I was younger too. I used to go to block parties. Matter of fact, I used to DJ and have fun at block parties. But now that we are in the era of emotional reactions and reckless talk, we have a thing called the trolling thing. It's a troll. And if you really look up the meaning of the troll, you'll find that they're very hideous people, or hideous, fictitious people that we've heard about in television shows and movies and all that kind of stuff. And places like, what's that magician thing that they used to have? They wrote big books about the hobbits and all those type of things. So we got to pay attention when you're doing that trolling stuff. You know, I broke down the numerology of trolling, and trolling is actually connected to the master number 44. And in my book, Numerovation for Mental Stability, the one that you see in my background right there, I talk about the number 4 being one of the major mental health numbers. So when people are constantly trolling one another and trolling people just because they have nothing to do, it just shows and exudes some type of mental health that you're going through, because the energy of the 44 is telling me that you're suffering from a higher level of mental health. That's why you're doing the trolling that you do. And when a word starts with the letter T, either you could vibrate on a higher level of the letter T, or the lower level. And in the Pythagorean system, the quote unquote Pythagorean system, the letter T adds up to the number 2, and 2 is one of the emotional, insightful numbers that can go through major sensitivities and emotion. And in the Chaldean system, the letter T adds up to the number 4, which is that mental health of number that needs discipline, that needs organization, that needs structure in their life. So you got a sensitive number 2 and a mental health number 4. So I know that person can go crazy when they start trolling like that. So we got to pay attention to the trolls and be careful of the trolls out there. So please, trolls, respectfully, this is a troll-free zone. So trolls, please take a stroll somewhere else. Give a round of applause to the trolls. Give a round of applause to the trolls, the haters. They're going somewhere else. They're not going to be on this show. We went to Inglewood, California. Hey, Inglewood. I've been to California, but I don't think I've been to Inglewood, not yet. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it is what it is. We're waiting for Baba Smalls to come in. We're waiting for Baba to come in, and I hope he ain't texting me and telling me something. Let me make sure. Let me check my text message and find out where he at, because he needs to know, because sometimes our elders be just acting up. Sometimes our elders be acting up, acting out, but they got their own time, you know. So I'm gonna write him. I'm on, waiting for you, Baba, waiting for you, waiting for you. So I know we already did the test, but first and foremost, yeah, be gone, trolls, be gone. Thank you very much, 33 Kelly. Be gone, trolls. And I don't hate trolls. I understand them, especially when I understand the mathematics. I understand the trolls. I understand the word and what vibration that it can attract on 2 different levels, on how high it can go and how low it can go. They can go so low, it can be death row. That's low. That's how low they can go, death row. You know what I'm saying? So trolls got to be very careful how they're using their mouth and being reckless with what they do and how they do things. So please, again, respectfully, this is a troll-free zone. So trolls, please take a stroll somewhere else. I remember breaking that down on another person's platform, breaking and explaining that whole thing about trolls and just dealing with how it deals, you know. And again, if you want to spread some love to Professor James Smalls, his Cash App is right there at the bottom. That's $ Dr. James Smalls. That's $ Dr. James Smalls. You could always spread love because of the work that he does in the community and the work that he's been doing before many of us was born. Like, I am approximately 54, so when he started doing his work, he was 50 years ago. So I was 4 years old when he started doing work. I know nothing about Professor Smalls at that time, but now at this pivotal time of my life, I'm learning that we all meet each other, we all develop and grow in each other to move to another level, and we meet people along our path for a reason. We meet people along our path for a reason. I don't know what's going on with Professor Smalls. Let me check with him right now. Let me play this commercial real quick, and then I will be right back with more right here on King Simon Presents. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back after this just want to find out what's going on with Professor Wall. These elders, we got to make sure we're checking on and make sure they're all right. All right? Be right back after this.
Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, KingSimonPresents.wordpress.com. That's KingSimonPresents.wordpress.com or Linktree at King Simon the Numerovation. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for mental stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Number are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's KingSimonPresents.wordpress.com. Go now.
I'm back, I am back, and that's a fact. Like our ancestors, family, 100 millions upon millions of ancestors. We are black and we are back, and we got in the background, we got, not only is he a historian, he's a scholar, he's a teacher, he's a judgment. Not only have I known him since the late 80s, early 90s, I've known Baba Smalls. I've watched him teach while he had locks back in the day. so I remember him at the UAM and the Jack Dempsey Theater. I have seen him in numerous things, of course, seen him throughout the Hidden Color series, but also watched him lecture on YouTube. I am honored to have our dear Baba, your dear Baba, the one, the only Professor James Smalls and the What's up, Ryan? How you doing, Baba?
I'm good, King. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm great. Of course, I want to remind everybody, our historian, our scholar, he's so much more in our community, but spread love via Cash App. Spread love via that Cash App. That's $ Dr. James Smalls. That's $ Dr. James Smalls. What a great thing that you've been doing for many years, Baba. I definitely am proud of you, of course, but also I applaud you for holding on for so many years, doing what you've been doing, and just having the fortitude and being fortified in what you know and keeping it going, because it ain't over until we win. And I know you've worked with Malcolm X's family. You've worked with some of the great leaders out of Kemet, out of Africa, and all the great leaders out of there, and some of our great historians over the year. How you been? How's the family, man? How's it?
Well, I'm good. I'm in the 10th week of a knee replacement.
Yes.
It'll be good if people can do whatever they can with the Cash App. That bill was $160,000.
Whoa, $160,000?
An artificial friggin' knee. They took my knee, they sawed it off, bottom and top, cut the muscles off, and threw my shit in the garbage. And then they gave me a titanium.
Your knee that you had for how many years, Baba?
For 76. Really.
76 years. They took that off and threw it in the garbage and then put a titanium knee?
Titanium knee, porcelain kneecap, and a plastic meniscus.
Man.
I've been 10 weeks trying to heal. But at the end of the day, the arthritis and damage from injury, playing football, martial arts, decades, which you know because you've done all the same things.
Yes.
Cause you a lot of damage.
Yeah.
We just couldn't repair it. I've been like almost 20 years trying to find a repair methodology, both organic and otherwise, but nothing worked.
Nothing worked. I remember saying what you just saying. I was at the Masters of the Martial Arts presented by Wesley Snipes, and that particular year, I sat next to the late great Thomas the Puppet, I sat next to George Cofield, and I was sitting next to our teacher of the system of Sanukis, Dr. Moses Powell, and Chris Muhammad, who's also one of the professors. And those guys are passed on now. They all had canes, and
I trained under most of them.
Exactly.
It was the next year I got my master's jacket from the same.
That's right. That's right. Master Lamar Thornton, all of them was there. Master Duncan, one of my great friends, and late great Master Duncan, and all of them. You know, certain ones of them was said that they wish they had gotten into the internal arts first,
right,
and then did the hardcore, the yin and the yang. They needed to find balance, and that's what.
And we didn't have money to buy mats. We worked on cement floors.
Exactly, that's what y'all did.
If you couldn't break your fall, you had to pay a price.
That Dr. Powell used to say that. I remember Professor Bill telling me. Professor Bill telling us. He said Dr. Powell always used to say the floor would let you know how you landed.
Absolutely. People know we use real knives, not rubber knives back then.
We were using
real pistols loaded with real bullets.
Our generation, my generation came after yours in martial arts. I started in the 80s. So we was the last of the real knife. We had the fake guns a little bit, but we had empty guns that we had to practice on also, just in case. But I totally, brother, I give y'all all a round of applause and all the masters and the past, all the great masters of the past that I've learned from, and those that I've watched on YouTube or I've met or studied a book. Matter of fact, I just got a book today. This was about the African samurai, the African samurai, Yusuke. I just got it in the mail today because I watched the cartoon, and they don't want to really say where the true African
information on that, because I had a Japanese student that I mentored for years, Sister Kazu, and then sent her back home because she wanted to be an African American. I told her, no, you're Japanese. Go home, right? And she married a very beautiful Japanese brother,
right?
And they got married, and they sent me the photographs, which I still have, with them both dressed as the last African samurai.
Wow. So you want to get the book? You want to get the book yourself?
Yeah, to get a copy.
I'll send you the link. It's on our Amazon, and it came like the next day. I ordered it yesterday, and it came today. So it's a very good book. And they got a few of them, but this one is a nice thick, talking about the story from women. Yeah.
Well, we say sometimes the first African samurai and last African samurai. That's kind of a myth.
Yes.
When the Chinese, who we now call Japanese, Asiatic type, moved into the islands called Japan, it was occupied by Black people called the Anu.
Okay.
Many of them still live. They're lighter today than they was in ancient days. And the northern big island called Hokkaido, and they still practice a lot of their ancient cultural traditions there. Through the years, I studied martial arts with Brother Kamitu in California years ago, and to go to school in the 70s, early 70s. But he was a dark Ainu, black skin, brown skin Ainu with nappy curly hair like the rest of us. And he did all right because his dad owned a big supermarket in Tokyo. Right. But I learned the story of the kind of oppression that they had to go under. And most people don't know, during the 60s and the 70s, the Black Ainu of Japan had their own civil rights movements fighting for their rights in their own land. In other people's history will turn you on to your history in other places.
And that's why, and people that are just tuning in, we have the great Professor James Smalls in the building, man. Please, I big up to Dr. Ma'at, who's also on the line.
Hi, Dr. Ma'at. I saw you popped up. That's my sister right there.
Yeah, she popped up. Yeah, so I'm so loving. She, what a loving sister. I love her energy all the time from the first time I met her. Professor Smalls, that's what I honor about. That's why I wanted to come on about honoring our ancestors, but also in this age of HAPI, because I remember Baba Samaj, Baba Heru said that this is the age of HAPI, not Aquarius. It's the age of HAPI, which is information, technology, all of this stuff. Well, tell us about that, because you was also involved with the HAPI documentary. and how things are panning out with that. Tell us about that, and how did that come about for you, and why we need to honor and respect our ancestors in this age, in this new age that we're coming into.
Right. And you know, because you're one of the founders of the HAPI process,
yes.
and
Yes,
I've been in it from the very beginning. Actually, some of your first shots was shot here at my house.
That's right. That's right. They were right.
But
right.
we didn't call it HAPI then. We called it Kemet, but it was Kemet something. But it evolved into HAPI. What we need to really grasp is our ancestors' understanding of being of the world. That they understood that there's no such thing as death.
Right.
Okay. And they understood that their offsprings, as they were the people who birthed them. Like, I'm my mother and my father. That's all they could use to birth me with.
Right.
They birthed themselves. And they had been birthed by my grandparents, who had then birthed themselves. And they had been birthed by my great parents, the 8 of them who had birthed themselves. So I am the ancestors. You are the ancestors.
Yes.
We are the continuum. My children aren't just my children. They're me.
Yes.
Going forward. My grandchildren is me going forward. My mother and father is their ancestors, but they too are the same ancestors moving forward to time and space. And so what we have to understand, if you're to grasp who you are, you've got to know who your ancestors were. Then you'll know who you are, because you are them. But the body of knowledge that they amassed and lived out in their time is the body of knowledge you need to help you live out in your time as you amass a new body of knowledge to help the next generation live out their time.
Yes, sir.
But if you're cut off from your ancestors' body of knowledge, if you're cut off from your ancestors' experiences in the world, how are you going to navigate the world when the same obstacles come up to face you, but you have no blueprint on how to counter those obstacles, how to handle and deal with it? What the white man has successfully done in destroying us access to our history. Remember, history is simply the dialogue of your ancestry with you.
Right.
History is the dialogue of your ancestors with you. And when somebody cuts you off from that dialogue and cuts you off from experiences that you had that you no longer remember, but history restores your ancestral memory. And once you are able to restore your ancestral memory, you're able to define your current reality and plan for your future or your present reality. And so ancestral revering is the most important thing in the world, because if we're going to be scientifically real, scientific, they like to talk, we invented science. Cracker didn't invent no science.
That's right.
You need to stop playing, right?
Exactly.
If what I just said is true, and there isn't a single person in the world that can disprove what I just explained about what an ancestor is and the fact that we are the ancestors going forward, then the original ancestor is the creator itself. So God is our primary ancestor.
Yes.
So what is our purpose here on earth? To become God again, to become God-like in our nature and behavior again. You can't do that unless you have the body of information of yesterday, which is called history, or the dialogue of ancestry, to guide you forward. Am I making sense?
Of course.
People to get it, because we playing with the ancestors. We acting like a bunch of Christians and Muslims and Hindi and others pouring libations and not even knowing what we pouring the libation. You're pouring the damn libation to your own memory of yourself. You're trying to stimulate something in you. When that sperm hit that egg, when your mom and daddy was having that good time, talking about good times, that was a good time.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Yes, all the times. And what it produced is a replica of themselves. Not a clone.
That's right.
A replica of themselves.
right.
which is you.
That's right.
So are you not them?
That's
And
right.
if they become ancestors, are you not the ancestors? But your memory of them triggers within you the memory of you when you were them,
Mm.
so that you can plan in your present place your future place.
Mm.
That's why I love the way Dr. Nobles put it. He says, history, learning your African Black history will erase the white man's fantasy mystery.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes. Yes.
Let me
Yes.
say that again. Learning your African Black history
Yes.
will erase the white man fantasy mystery,
Yes.
and you can deal with reality.
Now, but you know, and let me give that a well-deserved round of applause. I got to give that a well-deserved round of applause. Now, many of us are coming from, you know, the Christian background. Some of us came from the Hebrew, the Muslim background.
I
Some
know
come from
the hallelujah people.
yeah, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I come from the same background. I just left earlier than y'all did.
Much earlier.
My papa was a Baptist preacher.
Yes.
He taught us the truth because he was a Freemason, nice atheist, odd fella, and he did not hide the truth from his children about what Christianity really was.
Right.
So all of us left that church in our late teens, and he never cried about it because he understood what the mystery system was. That masonry, the way Prince Hall and them brought it down, that was all Kemet painted black again. That's why David Walker, who was a member of Prince Hall, is talking about Kemet in David Walker's appeal. Why don't somebody raise that up and say, okay, well, where the heck did David Walker learn about Kemet? Because the brotherhood, the craft of Amun-Ra never died.
Yes.
It came from Africa in our brain. And we use the church and we use those lodges to present what of our memory we had retained of the ancient system that we call the craft of Amun-Ra.
Right.
And I sit at the shrine of Hunefa as a priest of the craft of Amun-Ra. So
right.
we know it did not end when we got put on the ship. It did not end when the Greeks invaded Kemet. It did not end when the Syrians and the Persians and the Romans invaded Kemet. We took that knowledge, that body of knowledge of the universe and of nature, and we moved to Central Africa, West Africa, East Africa, South Africa. Some of us stayed in the Nile Valley, in Sudan, and Uganda, and others. But the bulk of us moved to West, Central, South, East Africa. And we took the body of knowledge with us.
Right.
And when they threw us on the slave ship, we never forgot Kemet.
Of course not.
You see? But that's why, the way Dr. Nobles put it, know your history and it will erase the white man fantasy mystery.
Yes.
So that you can understand that you are the man and woman from Kemet. They didn't evaporate. They just moved to some cousins in the West, some cousins in Congo, some cousins in the South. And if you get deep into the thing, the people who built Kemet came from the Southwest Central in the first place. When Kemet got invaded over and over and over for thousands of years, all we did was went back to the ancestral land and took the new system that we had developed in Kemet with us.
Right.
So now we call it Yoruba, we call it Voodoo, we call it Dogon, we call it Angola, Congo.
Obia.
But it's the same system, the same African sacred science that Dr. Ben Yohanan was calling the mystery system.
Right.
And so when we come back to looking at ancestors, the ancestors is our library. The ancestors is our university. The ancestors is our umbilical cord back to God itself, back to divine itself.
Yeah.
But there's a link we miss because culture let us interpret the information in that umbilical cord. Because culture is your memory. You weren't just dancing to shake a booty and shake some titties.
That's right.
Or brother making some humping move. Every one of those dance move out of our cultures in Africa, our societies in Africa, was in a dissertation on a certain body of information concerning how to live life in Ma'at, in truth, justice, righteousness, harmony, balance, and reciprocity. But the white man, by cutting us off from our history, we think dancing is just shaking and making sexual movements. No.
Right.
That ain't what dancing is. You know, dancing is not culture either. It is a tool of culture. Culture is a value system, a worldview that your ancestors have forged for you. But you need tools to teach you.
Right.
Dancing is a teaching tool. Music is a teaching tool. Painting is a teaching tool. Sculpting is a teaching tool. It teaches you about the concepts, ideas, and principles that the ancestors have proven to be good for your survival, growth, and development living on the planet Earth. That's what this is about.
Now, Baba, before you move forward, I want to unpack the 42 laws or confessions of the commissions as far as those concerned. Why did they have to write that if they were already living in that?
Why do I have to have this conversation with you? You've been living in this world.
Because they forgot.
Each generation must inform that baby, that infant, of what came before it.
Right.
Writing is just another tool that we use to transfer information intergenerationally. Because this is about intergenerational transmission of wisdom. That's what the writing system is doing. You know, it is retention. Me and you may die, but we've already left the laws there for the next generation to learn what we had experienced so that they could create even new experience. Because what Professor Akinjoban, one of my professors out of Nigeria, said, that culture is not static, it's dynamic. There's some things in culture that no longer works for you in the environment you find yourself in, and you got to throw that away.
Right.
But you've got to replace it with something that works for you. And that's what Black people did with Christianity until the 50s and 60s, when the white folks figured it out and started sending trained Negroes from seminaries, white cemeteries, they call seminaries, like Father Lucas would say, to come and run our churches. When those churches were run by the people in the community, elected by the elders of those communities, based on their wisdom and the kind of life they lived, we were building Black Wall Streets, not just in Oklahoma, but in North Carolina and South Carolina and Texas and Mexico and other places, because we understood the science of nature. I mean, there's some simple things we need to get to. Why do people go to college? You ask them, why are you going to college for? I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. No, fool, you're going to college because you want to get a job or a profession to make some money, because you need to buy some food, some clothing, some shelter, and some safety. Because if you don't do that, I don't care what kind of degree you got, you're going to die. Okay? So let's get real. Let's put the right thing in the right place. Put the context of the content in context. What is our purpose? What are we trying to do? Even now, caught up in the crisis of the war that we're in with the Eurasians, that has lasted for hundreds of years now. I don't talk about white supremacy. There's nothing supreme about those things.
That's right.
You take the lesser being and call them supreme, even in a reference point. That's silly. You know, the supreme would be godlike, not devil-like. So we back up on that.
That's right. I'll give that a round of applause. You're right.
The sister said there's an almond go right there.
That's right.
The sister used to come to the slave theater, and you said the right place. She said, "Amen, go right there."
That's right.
That's right. Almond go right there.
Right.
And so when we understand that with clarity, that we are in a war, and we're trying to recenter ourselves back into the African spiritual being that someone has dislodged us from. We are suffering, again, as my brother Wade says, from European mimetic infection. It means the infection of our mind by a body of European information that is anti-human development in a positive state, right? And in order to reverse that process, you need African authentic information. So we come back to the 42 admonitions of Ma'at. And we know the 42 is not all of them.
Right.
They were 100 plus, not more. But these were the primary 42 that at least everyone in society should be able to practice in a lifetime. And so we articulated it as often as we could so that people can learn it and manage themselves. So they can say at the end, I have not stolen, I have not lied, I have not betrayed, I have not destroyed, I have not killed this, I've not polluted the waters, I've not, all the things these criminals are doing. All the way back then, we had taught ourselves, you don't do that. You don't pollute the waters. You don't betray a brother.
That's right.
You don't tell a lie. This is these are the Orishas. People take Orishas now and we act like the Orishas as Christian saints. No, the Orishas is the 42 admonitions of Ma'at. Hear me, people. The Orishas are nothing but anthropomorphic symbolism. Anthropomorphic is when we take a symbol of a human being or an animal to represent a concept, idea, and principle so that you can use that symbol. Like, see my Shango back there over me, my beautiful Shango.
Yes.
No man named Shango ever looked like that. And besides Shango is my mother, Oya. But there was no sister with big things on her head, but they represent a certain set of values, principles, concepts, and ideas. We call many of these Ma'at.
Yes.
And the admonitions of Ma'at. So Shango represents courage. You know, that's one of them. There's certain things, you know, when you're teaching somebody, you don't take people to the 4th grade when they're just in the 1st grade.
That's true.
Oya has 9 of these qualities you must learn and master in your own character. One of them we know is they use the wind as the symbol of it. It means change, to change yourself in dynamic ways to make you a better person. But there's 8 more, which I'm not going to tell you about, because you need to get on in the system to figure out how to get from number 1 to number 2.
That's right.
Shango has even more. When you put these qualities together, if I got Ogun, he's somewhere back there. Ogun means transformation. Not worshiping some piece of wood. Africans didn't worship some wooden statue.
That's right.
It's a carving that symbolizes concepts, ideas, and principles that you can learn from memorizing the different things on this carving. We do the same thing when we go to Haiti and we see voodoo being practiced, and they have these bebes, these different ideograms that you see them draw. They call bebes.
Right.
They represent the same thing that statue represents. The bebe is an explanation of a body of energy formulation from the cosmos that occurs in you when you transform yourself according to these things we call principles, concepts, and ideas, and what we refer to in ancient times as Ma'at. How people never forget it. Yeah, we renamed the system. We went different places with different languages and different environment, different ecology. When we're in the desert, we can't use the green grass to represent God because there ain't no damn green grass there. Yeah, a mound, a hill, you know what I'm saying? A hill of sand.
Right.
To make a symbolic gesture. If I'm in the rainforest, I can't use sand to represent the divine because there's none there. So I've got to use a tree or the water or the bush. So we are using what's in our ecology to teach us about our cosmology and the science in between. You're into the sciences in numerology. Yes. I mean, today we think of it as just, oh, he's playing with numbers. No, there's a mathematical formulation through the universe itself that our ancestors understood.
Yes, that's right. Right.
and could calculate in the seasons. The 4 seasons is no joke. The 4 children of Horus. For those of us who know Kemet, we see the 4 children of Horus. We got all kinds of little silly things about them, but they're talking about the 4 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And they're also talking about the 4 elements. And they're also talking about the 4 directions.
Mm.
But there's a whole science with those 3 categories.
That's right.
That must be mastered and understood in order to live a life worthy of having been given birth to by those you call ancestors.
Yes, yes, yes.
Of which all of us will become eventually.
Eventually.
These houses of matter, of mineral, which when we dry the water out, we can hold in our hands, will dissipate. You know?
Right.
And another house will come and will be designed to hold that same body of energy that was in that one that we put in the ground. Someone put as above, so below. You absolutely, brother. Praise your sister, praise you.
Gene Fraser, yes. But before we go on, family, remember we got Professor James Smalls, our brother, our Baba, our historian, our scholar, and much more. Doing so much work, of course. And please spread love via his Cash App. If you don't send me nothing, send him. Please send it to a $ Dr. James Smalls. That's Dr. Dr. James Small. Spread some love to him. Spread some monetary love because it helps out. He just, before all of y'all came on, he talked about his knee replacement. He had to get a knee replacement, titanium. Man.
Good titanium.
Good
titanium from Africa.
Exactly.
And my doctor comes from a Black institution, Amun-Ra Theological Seminary in Los Angeles.
Wow. Wow.
So sometimes people see that. Yeah, I could have had, the white folks offered me a doctor free if I had sold you all out.
Right.
Here's what they offered me. It's a small. We know you married. We know you got 3 kids. We know you're having a hard time. If you would just leave City College, leave us alone, turn that student center back over to us. We'll give you a master's degree and a PhD. I said, really? They said, yeah. They said, we'll give you a 6-figure job.
Wow. But
in another institution. I said, really? They said, yeah, they thought they had me, gang. I just went. And so that's what happens when I get to the other institution and I get political and start helping my people. Is somebody going to drop a dime in a newspaper and they're going to say, you don't really have these degrees? They said, no, we're going to sit someone in the classroom to earn it for you. You just agree to leave us alone. They were serious. These were the big boys. Right?
And I know you're the real deal. Big up to Mercedes who dropped a Cash App. Big up to Miss Wisdom for dropping the Cash App. But again, give the Cash App love to Dr. James Smalls. If you give him some, please. That's Dr. James. I do not go by Super Chat. Super Chat don't take care of me at all. Go to the Cash App and spread love via that to Professor James Paul. You know, I'm going to constantly get money.
I got somebody in Ghana who's poor, who I help to feed, that needs it. I got schools in Ghana who I try to take care of. People say, well, what does he do? Most people know me. I barely charge anything all these years. I just tell people, give me what you can.
That's true.
Even my wife said, well, you do all the speaking all week and you don't charge them. I can't do that. I can accept what you give me.
The donation, right?
And Brother Simon always takes care of me through the years, even when I'm not speaking for him. I look at my Cash App and I say, King Simon. I was like, oh, I hadn't heard from King in a month. He just said
I said it to you. I said it to Professor Jeffries. I said it to Dr. Africa. I show my elders love, man, because I get it back in abundance. That's how.
Yes, sir. And we're obligated. I had a dream last night, and a goddess came to me. It's beautiful.
Wow.
Black.
Yeah.
And she said she was trying to teach me a song. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But it was a symbol. And I was singing the song, but I was singing it low under my breast, just to myself.
Right.
And we were both lying across the bed. And she said, I didn't give you the song for you. I give you the song to give to our children. That's what I mean about the knowledge and the insight they give us.
Right.
It was not given to us for us. It was given to us to give to our children.
Right.
And like she was so honored because, it's been 3 months of doing the surgery. I haven't been speaking anywhere.
Yes, right. You haven't.
Started last week saying, okay, I got to start teaching because that's what I know how to do. Let me start teaching again. So I've done like 2 or 3 pieces in the last week.
Yeah.
And that spirit came last night to make it very clear that the knowledge you got, it don't belong to you. You can't sell it to nobody. We gave that to you. It didn't drop out of the sky. I mean, it kind of dropped out of the sky. They said, we gave that to you to give to our children.
Right.
And that's what I've been doing for some 56, 57 years.
I can attest. I can attest to that, because when I left the Nation of Islam, even when I was in my transition between Ansarullah, Dr. York's race, and the Nation, I came to the slave theater and came to those spots, and you was dropping that wisdom for us, and it was free to get into those places. They just asked for a donation, and of course, people like Ultimatics will give you a donation for just coming there to do what you did, and that's how we do reciprocal energy. So,
and I didn't have gray hair, and I had a head.
No, you did not. You had a locks that was down the line. Yeah. I mean, he was a powerful brother, but you know.
But the key thing. Let's come back to the subject.
Yeah, that's what I was going to come back. Yeah.
Yeah. Our ancestors.
Yeah.
Is a chain of your experience in your journey from heaven out into all of creation, which has no boundaries, as you return back to that beginning point that we call heaven. White man didn't invent this concept of heaven. We did.
That's right.
Africans did. And all over Africa, they have a concept of this place, this perfect place that sends us forward to constantly correct and expand our fantasticness. You know, constantly expanding the divine. Because each of us is an aspect of the divine.
Yeah.
Because if something is omnipotent, omnipresent, omnipotent, and supreme, there's no space for nothing else to exist but it. So then what are we? Except aspects of it.
Right.
And each of the aspect has a responsibility to the it, to continue to expand the perfection of the it that we call the divine. Wow. And that's where culture comes in. That's where the sacred science. I don't even like the term spirituality because white folks playing with that too. Yes. So African sacred science is that body of knowledge out of which Ma'at emanates. It's that body of knowledge out of which the sacred numerology emanates. It's that body of knowledge out of which the sacred astrological body of knowledge emanates. And so that African sacred science, within it, it has medicine, it has herbology, it has dietary stuff, it has everything we need. But the enemy is cut off from that body of information. Tell us it's demonic, it's evil, it's primitive, it's all kinds of negative. This has come to me. You know that thing of, what do they call it? The Pied Piper. Yeah. Oh, follow me, I'm the Pied Piper. Follow me, I'll show you where it's at. And he showed us where it's at. He showed us how to be blind, deaf, and dumb.
Right.
So we got to cripple that Pied Piper, cut him down, burn him up, dump him in a well somewhere, and go back home. Remember the story of the Pied Piper? It's how this demonic being who came and said, I come to help you, and you didn't pay me what I wanted, so I'm taking your children away using my music. My music of Christianity, my music of Islam, my music of English and French and German. And I've taken your children. That's what the Pied Piper is about. It's about taking the future away from a people. Well, you're going to have to cut that relationship with the Pied Piper and let your children come back home, because that's your future.
Now, Professor, you know, a lot of people are confused about their path and where they should go and how they should, what they should do in their life, because a lot of people don't know what they're supposed to do. A lot of people feel hindered or feel confused because they've been taught wrong all their life. How do one find their purpose, not just for themselves, but for their children? Because I understand that old African systems, they used to wait until the children is born and then wait a few days before they named them and all of that stuff. So how do they find their purpose, and how would they help their children to find their purpose?
One of the first things I would tell people to do
Mm-hmm.
It's to stop celebrating European and Arab holy days.
Mm.
That's what holidays are to them. They're holy days. They're
Right.
the sacred markers of their dominance of your mind.
Mm.
Say that again now.
Say it again. That's
Those
right.
holidays are their holy days. They are the sacred reminders of the domination of your mind.
Mm.
So you got Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
then you follow that up with New Year's, which ain't the real New Year in terms of universal cycle.
Right.
And then you follow that up with a concept of love called Valentine's Day, which is all about your perverted sexual relationship with one another.
Mm-hmm.
And then you follow that up with Easter. And then you follow that up with Mother's Day, and you don't respect mothers or women. Then you follow that up with Father's Day, and you don't even try to learn what fatherhood is about.
Right.
Then you follow that up with 4th of July, just call some of the 4th of July, and celebrating a nation who committed genocide, killing 80 million people, as being worthy of celebrating for anything. And then you follow that up with Labor Day, when even your own people are enslaved by you as labor. You won't even let them form labor unions to protect their interests. And then you come up behind that with worshiping the devil and calling it Halloween. And then you come up and talk about Thanksgiving, giving thanks to who? While you've slaughtered the people who fed you and kept you from starving to death. Then you're back to Christmas again. Well, if you follow that demonic circle, you're going to be a demon just like them, asking why I paid and so.
That's right.
Think of just what I just said, those holidays, and there's some others I miss.
That's right.
Right now, the Jews are celebrating Hanukkah.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even know what it is. When the Hebrews were still in that land, before the white people called themselves Jews, took it from them and took their tradition from them, the Hebrews was fighting against the Greeks, who were in history now at that point in time was called the Hellenistic. This is the 2nd, 3rd, 4th generation of Greeks who have conquered Palestine and northern Kemet. And one black family stood up. They called themselves the Maccabees. And they created a guerrilla warfare against the Greeks and won and restored their cultural system and their temple. That's what the celebration of Hanukkah is about. It's about revolutionary restoration of your ancestral consciousness. Hope y'all heard me. Because you be watching stuff, don't even know what you're watching, celebrating stuff, don't know what you're celebrating. Right. And you should be celebrating. What we need to do is the first. It's hard. It's like it took me years to kick cigarette, but all the things I knew, that nicotine had a brother pinned down. Right? But finally, I didn't use anything. I said, I got to do this cold turkey. I got to beat this thing and then beat it. We have walk away. Well, it's hard to say walk away from the church when you have no place to go to celebrate yourself. It's hard to say walk away from the mosque when you have no place to go, because the mosques have done considerably good, especially under the Nation of Islam for Black people in America. Yeah. And the church in our history have done considerable good for our people. It's just that it gets to a point where it can't take you over the top. It won't let you cross the finish line.
That's right.
It'll take you within sight of the finish line.
Right.
But it ain't letting you cross that finish line. So you have to make a decision to stop lying to yourself, because most of us know we're lying to ourselves. That's we know there ain't no darn Santa Claus. We know Jesus didn't come out of get dead and didn't come out of the box. Okay.
Exactly.
We know that.
We know that.
But it's comfortable.
Yes.
Because that's what everybody else is doing. And we said, well, we don't really believe in it, but we celebrate it. Well, wait a minute. I don't believe that there's poison in this cup, but I'm drinking it anyway. No, we've got to make some decisions. This takes some effort. But you do need something to replace it with. And I would start with the Nguzo Saba.
Yes, Nguzo Saba. Yes.
The Nguzo Saba is the concept in which Kwanzaa sits. But Kwanzaa is only one part of the Nguzo Saba.
Yes.
See, Kwanzaa is not just for that first 7 days of the year or the last 7 days of the year. Kwanzaa is for the 365.
Yes.
Each of those days represent the quality and attribute of behavior that you need to inculcate in your character. The Nguzo Samba deals with the practice that goes along with learning the history and the culture. Every household should have a book on African American history. I can't tell you which one to get. I love Ron Bennett, Shaping a Black America, and the revised version of Before the Mayflower. But there's so many others now. But you should not be a breathing Black person and don't take and set aside 3 hours a week at least to study Black history in your household.
Yes.
There's enough DVDs and enough tapes out here in the world today. You can go on YouTube and there's thousands of us teaching this wisdom.
That's right.
You set aside that one day, the whole family, not just you, your husband can't be over there and the children over there looking at but these little crazy things they be doing on the telephone and stuff. And you trying to find your way. No, the whole household have to say, let's have a meeting.
Yes.
One day, we take 2 hours to study history. One day, we take 2 hours. Out of the 7 days, we're going to take this 4 hours, but not in the same day. 2 hours to study history and discuss it one day, and then 2 hours to watch a video of somebody and discuss it one day. Every household should buy a globe or a map of the world and see where Africa is located.
Right.
And then start by one country at a time in your studies during the week to learn about that one country. That means you'll be 54 weeks about Africa.
Yeah.
Okay. And you'll be surprised. And then teach your children the globe. You'll be surprised how that was changed and transformed the mind. The Nguzo Saba, Kwanzaa, those 7 principles of Kwanzaa being practiced 365, deliberately in your household.
Yep.
And then change your eating habit.
Yes. Yes.
Change your eating habit. You know, move more. I won't say go completely towards vegan because you need certain proteins. And I haven't seen going heavily vegan work fully, but I've seen it work in extraordinary ways. Right. But you got to make sure that you're balancing the proteins you need with all of the other vitamins. So look at your eating habits. Right. And you find you don't have to change that much. It's just the way you prepare what you're eating in many cases and bringing more vegetables and fruits into the diet. Right. You know, and cutting out a lot of this red meat of which we eat too much. And especially eating from processed places like the McDonald's and the Burger Kings and the other places where all of this stuff is full of so much sodium and so much other preservative that even when you're trying to eat right, you're killing yourself.
Exactly.
So try to buy, if you want to have some meat, go to the butcher place where they cut it, where they make it, and only get it on the day or the day before you want to prepare it. You know, little things like this. Drink lots of water.
Yes.
You know, having gone through this 10 weeks, I used to love a nice cold beer or a glass of wine every now and then. I haven't had one in over 10 weeks.
Wow.
This water, right? And to realize the detoxing that has taken place in the 10 weeks tells me that we all have to drink more water. Some simple things. We're not talking about doing anything crazy.
Right.
You know, ask your spouse, why do you love me? Because a lot of us got together because of you so fine and she's so fine, he's so fine and she's so fine. And then we got together based on the fineness and then got involved sexually and then got involved in terms of the attachments. And then we parlayed that into marriage and trying to make a family and can't figure out why we can't get along. Because we don't even know each other. We never stopped and took time to get to know each other.
Right.
We were all running away from the pains of the life that this sick culture has put us into, looking for someone to extract and liberate us from that pain. And so the first attraction we saw that fit that mode, we got attached. And then once you open your sacred space, because when you open your legs and a man come between and lay between those legs, and when a man allow himself to insert himself between the legs of a female, you have come into the most sacred space in the universe. That is the space where you can replicate the work of the divine. The only way the divine creates is through you doing that. So you are the divine creating. So the act of creation, many times, we treat like filth rather than the greatest thing, most sacred thing ever.
Right.
Because no babies drop out of the sky.
That's right. That's right.
They don't grow out of the ground.
No stalks.
God come knocking on the door in the morning with a basket.
Exactly.
So if God is the creator, but the only way God can create is through intercourse between these two opposites to produce and replicate itself, then are you not that aspect? Say it again. Are you not that aspect? Say it again. Are you not that aspect of God that creates?
Exactly.
So then that sacred space, which we enter in too quickly when we come into relationship and end up violating each other on the basis of feeling pleasure and good, we need to back up and understand, what are we doing? It ain't gonna take away from the pleasure and the beauty of it. Right. When you put it in context, it actually makes it more pleasurable and more beautiful.
That's right.
And I would implore that everybody ask that question of them and their mate. I've had sex with more than one person. All of it felt good. I thought I was in heaven each time. And I was. Okay. And I definitely was.
Exactly.
But that shouldn't have been the path.
Right.
You know, I should have had a better understanding of why we come together.
You know,
so I can understand the nature of God that I represent and all the different acts that I do.
That's right. Those that are just tuning in, we're speaking with our great Professor James Smalls. Of course, you can see his Cash App is on. Show him some love via his Cash App. Baba Smalls has been doing his work for 50 years and 50 more years. And I like I said, I'm 54, and he's been doing it since I was 3 or 4 years of age. So you understand? So you got to understand this is work that we got to pass on and share. And, you know, people like Dr. Africa, Dr. Sabi, all these great people, we got to pass on every aspect of our heritage on so we can keep on passing it on to generation to come, like our ancestors have done over the years and given us. Now, you know, you've been a part of course, the Godfather of Harlem, one of the consultants. But the most important stuff to me is the historical stuff that you've done over the years, and of course, what you're doing now recently with HAPI. And are you now filming with Tariq also? Tariq Nasheed? Did you just do a
film? We just did that filming about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, American Maroons, right?
Yeah, that's gonna be a nice piece. That's gonna be like really, because that's my, you know, I'm a Gullah Geechee person from Carolina. That's my family. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. That's my family. Wilmington, North Carolina. That's my family. Charleston. So I'm the Gullah Geechee prince. You know?
Well, talk about that. That's what's coming. I don't go all the way because we know the documentary is coming out, but talk about the American Maroon, because I know my family's from Jamaica and Cuba, and I know the Jamaican has a Maroon place in Jamaica that's indigenous to all of it.
I work with the Jamaican Maroon community, and the brothers write poetry for me every year.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him on to interview the brother, the new chief of the Maroons, a good brother. I see. Yeah, I'm trying to get him on, so I'm working on him now. So tell us about this documentary that's about to come on.
Because most people don't realize that North America had a massive Maroon community, multiple Maroon communities, but the white Americans so dominate the history writing that they've never referenced us. So the biggest about Maroon community was the one called the Seminoles. Now, Jamaica, I'm glad you brought up that you're from Jamaica.
Right.
Before the British came to Jamaica and started calling that community that had freed themselves and escaped into the mountains and rebuilt Africa, Maroons, the Spanish was there in Jamaica.
That's right.
The Spanish called them Cimarron.
Cimarroons.
And so the British cut off the Cima and said Maroon. They anglicized it.
I did not know this.
Yes, sir. Yes,
my auntie used to say we from the Maroons and the Arawak and all that, but I didn't know the Cimarron.
The Cimarron is the old Spanish word for runaway.
For runaway, right.
So in Florida, the Spanish dominated Florida until almost up to the Civil War.
That's right.
So all of the people who escaped from North America into Florida to build their free African communities called Maroons. The backwoods Irish and Scottish cracker call them Seminole. Seminole is their corruption of Cimarron, which means runaway.
Wow.
Now, this black population merged with a part of a people called the Creek Nation.
Creeks.
Red-tailed Creek, but they were called the Muskegos. They never called themselves the Creek. The white man called them the Creek because they lived along a creek. So he said, oh, that must be the Creeks. Doing stuff like that, renaming people, right? So he renamed the Muskegos and the Tuscaroras and the Chicora, one of the nations out of which my family comes, the Chicoras, the South Carolina, the Walkmore River, PD River, Sandy Island. So these people in Florida represented the biggest Maroon community in North America. But there were many other Maroon communities. Both sides of my family come from Maroon communities.
Wow.
One is called Burgess. That's where the small side of the family comes from. And the other is called Bannockburn. That's where the Alston side of my family comes from. And so we didn't come out of the bush. Some of our people didn't come out of the bush till the 1970s. And white people didn't go in the bush.
Right.
Much of what we know as Myrtle Beach, West Myrtle Beach, that was a black Maroon community. In the later days, they called their community Harlem. Whites didn't go up in there until the late 60s, not even the police. They had to hire black policemen to stand up in there, and they just went with courtesy. You understand? My Uncle Joe T. Blood lived up in there. And I remember when I'd go up there and go to visit him, everybody in that town needed to know who you was before you got to Blood's house, because he was one of their leaders. And so, but no one ever called our community Maroon communities. But if you go to Burgess, which is now where they call Murrells Inlet, South Carolina, between Georgetown and Myrtle Beach, that was the major one. That's where Papa's people came from. And then on Mama's side, the Austins, they came from a place called Bannockburn. That was up by Paul Island Beach and W Beach. And we traded our land on the beachfront for highway land along Highway 17 in the 1920s so that we would be able to get our produce, because we were farmers, the market. Well, the white folks saw what the resort thing was coming and we didn't. So we wanted to make sure that we could sell our produce and make money to take care of our family. So, and we have our own Creole. You know, I can't speak Gullah Geechee no more because I've been gone too long. Do you know that the Gullah Geechee Creole is taught as a language in Harvard University? They started 3 years ago.
I didn't know that.
We have a Creole. We call our brother, was a brother from the nation who did the greater research on it recently, and he called it Ebonics.
Yes.
But it is an entire Creole language system, which our people still speak all along the eastern seaboard, from North Carolina to Florida, from Florida to New Orleans. But they don't even say. And there were Maroon communities in Arkansas, Maroon communities in Alabama, Maroon communities in Louisiana that we don't even know the story about. And there's a good book, and I just put it away. And it's called The Maroons of America. But
Maroons of America.
King Simon, and you can talk about it. So a lot about what the new piece that's coming out is going to deal with that Maroon community in North America. The Seminole Nation, which evolves out of that, who fought 3 wars with America, didn't lose any of the 3, never signed a peace treaty with America, ever. And when they forced us in that move that is called the Trail of Tears, many of us left and went to Oklahoma, and then we built Black Wall Street, same people. We settled 30 towns in Oklahoma besides Greenwood.
Wow.
And some of them were very wealthy towns because Black folks discovered the first with the Seminoles to discover oil. But when the Civil War came, we sided, many of us, with the Confederacy because we had been attacked 3 times by the U.S. government. So when the U.S. government won, they came and took much of the land away in Oklahoma as a penalty for siding with the Confederacy. But many of us went under John Horse to Mexico.
Yes.
And we set up black communities in Mexico and helped the Mexicans oust the French under Maximilian out of Mexico and their war for freedom.
Wow.
So it's an extraordinary story about people.
Wow.
But that's what happens when you know your ancestors, when you know who you is.
Yes.
I'll be them, you know.
Yeah, exactly. That's a powerful history, man. I mean, I didn't know the connection and all of that. You know, you hear about the Maroons. I've heard about Maroons since I was a child, you know, in Jamaica. And my mother is a family from St. Elizabeth, where a lot of the Maroon camps is.
Well, you might even be my cousin. Those of us who fought in the War of 1812 with the British,
right.
After the war, they took some of us to Jamaica and they took some of us to Trinidad.
Trinidad, yes.
Some of those communities are still there to this day. It was the South Carolina and Georgian black folks who went and hooked up with their brothers to Jamaica and started the Pokemon movement.
The Pokemon, right. That's what we used to call it.
Down and to see, you might be my cousin.
Right, you know what? So we turned in the years in the 90s into the 2000s, we turned Pokemon into a dance.
Yes.
And because I think it was a warrior fighting dance, and we used to
absolutely
fight. And I used to do it with. I'm good at the machete. I'm good at using the machete and the cutlass. And I learned how to. I have a cutlass on my ancestral altar named my grandfather because he used to be able to use the cutlass in Jamaica.
The whole movement was about African retention.
Yes.
Dance and music.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
So when we get into our history and our ancestry, your whole world gonna change,
man.
You know, the whole world gonna change. Then you're gonna realize, oh my God, I have nothing to be inferior about.
Nothing.
I have nothing to feel bad about. My ancestors were some bad dudes. You hear me?
No, but before you move, because I know we pressed for time, and and what's the name? Just text me. Taaqiy say so. He said he's been running around because, of course, they're doing Anthony Browder, but he wants to come in. But you know, unpacking what you just said just now, because a lot of us are lost, and a lot of us don't want to tap into that DNA, RNA memory anymore. Name some books that they could start them off. Wade Noble's books, whoever books you think we can start them off. Let's start some of these people off with some good information. If you got, go ahead, go get them if you can.
Let me get them.
Go ahead. I'll jump in front real quick while you do what you do. Professor Smalls, please support a historian, scholar, and please send him some Cash App love. You don't have to send me, don't send me no super chat, because the super chat, I don't get no money from super chat. Really and truly, I ain't even connected to a bank account through my super chat. So go to Cash App, $ Dr. James Smalls. That's $ Dr. James Small, and spread some love for the information he's been dropping. Look at that. All that information he's been dropping. Go spread some love to him. Do not spread it to me. You know, do a session with me. Do a numerology session with me. But go spread some love. We're about to show some books right now. Here we go.
Yeah.
There he is. There's Baba. Go ahead, Baba. Please.
Yeah. One of the first one I always recommend is Before the Mayflower, A History of Black America by LaRon Bennett Jr. And always
lift it up a little. Yeah, lift it up. There it is, right there. Yes, put it right there.
Ask for the revised edition. I knew Dr. Bennett. I learned a lot from him. Right. We worked together on the reparations movement in Chicago. An extraordinary historian. And the stuff in this book's gonna blow your mind, and you'll be like, "Oh shoot, how much I didn't know." And then he wrote another one, which is one of his classic works.
Yes.
And it's called The Shaping of Black America.
Woo! Y'all better take pictures, do snapshots, do whatever you can for this. Go back, rewind this, and watch it. Go ahead, Baba. Keep on throwing them books out there.
And this one, he deals with the indigenous Black people who was here before Columbus in a chapter called The Red and the Black. Very important book.
Wow.
And then this one by Richard Price. Talking about Maroon.
Maroon Society. Woo! I think I had that. I got it stolen. Somebody stole it from me.
Yeah, you got to get that book back.
I got to get it back.
I'm going to get information up in there.
Oh, my goodness.
And you know, Ben Sertima.
Yeah, yes, definitely. I got that. From Columbus to Castro. I definitely got that one. I'm working with Ben Sertima.
Not Ben Sertima, Eric Williams.
Eric Williams from Trinidad. Yes, from Trinidad. Yes.
And then Van Sertima's, I don't have it in my hand, but they came before Columbus.
Yeah. Did you ever meet Eric Williams?
No, Eric Williams.
When he was
Columbus,
the prime minister. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Did you ever meet Eric Williams yourself? No? Oh, yes.
I can't remember. You know, Trinidad is my second home. Like most people don't know, my wife's family is from Trinidad.
Oh, get out of here! I didn't know that. like Phil Valentine, he's from Trinidad.
All of our families in Trinidad. You know.
Oh my goodness!
I'm initiated in Chiguanas, in Enterprise Village, in the Kenny Sider Lay Jube.
In Trinidad. You ever met Mighty Sparrow?
No, I never met Sparrow. But I hung with Brother Dagger.
Dagger.
You know, who led the militant movement. I was on the revolutionary side of the track.
Wow.
Sister Anju Springer, who's the poet laureate of Trinidad, even now writing a new book. That's my sister.
Wow.
Kepra Cambone and his wife Asha Cambone. We marched through the streets of Trinidad many a day when they were establishing Emancipation Day in Trinidad. And I've spoke when what's his name became president of Trinidad after Manley stepped down, the Indian brother. I was the keynote speaker at his inauguration.
Wow.
You know,
so you must know Abu Bakr, the one that tried to take over Trinidad at that time.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Abu Bakr and I was very good brothers. And after that, when I went down to talk to him, what are you doing? Because, you know, I was a Muslim imam in the Muslim Mosque Inc., and we knew each other through that. And it wasn't what the world thought it was. He wasn't trying to take over Trinidad.
Right, that's what they were saying.
Let me just give a greeting to my brother, because I love that community, because, you know, they went in and burned down their schools, burned down the daycare, burned down
everything, yes.
All of that got rebuilt. What happened was that community had been Upated Bulekain, the drug dealers. All right? And so there was some people who wanted to take over had the goods on them because they were eliminating the drug dealers and forced them to participate in a coup d'etat that was supposed to be bloodless. But the one brother that got killed, the police officer who was on vacation, happened to come back in town just that day for his daughter's wedding and went by the precinct to see some buddies. And when this thing jumped off, he jumped into action. And then everything went downhill from there.
Wow.
But this was the American CIA that forced them to do this.
Wow.
That's why none of them went to prison. Nobody ever asked the question.
That's right.
Because they also had the goods on the enemy.
I met the son of one of Abu Bakr's tight partners. I met the son in Florida, and he didn't want to talk too much about it, but his father was something else.
I told you more than most of the world have heard, because the elders told Abu to sit down with me, said, tell Baba Small what happened here. Right. And the elders sat with us, and he told me back then.
Wow.
That's why studying history will get rid of the white man's mystery.
Right. No. What do you think about Barbados separating from England? Because that's something
I said, thank God.
Yes. Give him a round of applause. Give Barbados a round of applause. Give Barbados a round of applause. Finally. Go ahead.
I know Brother David Commissar and others who have been fighting for decades to get this move. Good. And people leave Sister Rihanna alone. She has done well.
Yes, she has.
She could have gone in an opposite direction and never assisted the process at all, like so many who have made it big have done and abandoned their community and their people. Leave that child alone and give her the blessings for the gifts she helped in this process.
That's what she's
doing. Let's hope that this man and the president of the sister, who's the president of Barbados, is a powerful Black woman.
Right.
Let's support that powerful Black woman. And this didn't just happen instantly. Barbados have been working towards this for years. They finally got into a place where they could make the move.
Right.
Without being trapped in legal contracts that these crackers had us trapped.
Right.
You know, and walk away. People don't know Jamaica is still in that same quagmire.
Yeah.
And that's why Michael Manley was destroyed in the way he was. It was MI6, British intelligence with CIA. They killed Bob Marley. They killed Peter Tosh. They killed Jacob Miller. And we need to understand that Jacob boy, you know.
Jacob was a bad boy. Let's pick up
People know Bob, but they don't know Jacob, man.
Jacob was the man. Jacob
Bob was learning from Jacob Miller, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
And I go back because I'm an OG.
In a circle, yeah.
So that's why studying history gets rid of the enemy's mystery.
That's right.
And you can have a real sense of who you are and who your people are, who really was fighting for you and who was fighting against you. What
about Rosie Douglas from Dominica? Do you think they killed him?
Rosie? Oh, I think they killed Rosie. Yeah, I love Rosie.
I used to be in Montreal, Canada, doing some revolutionary work with his son, Robert.
Rosie used to work with us at Black Studies at City College.
Yeah.
And, Dr. Edward Scobie, who most people don't know, from Dominica.
Yeah, from Dominica. Yeah.
Brother Edward Scobie is one of the greatest professors ever.
Yes.
You need to read his books. You know, Dr. Edward Scobie's book. I think one of the main one is called the Quilombos of Your Mind. Is the African community you build when you separate from the white community and free yourself and become a Maroon community. In Brazil, the Maroon community was called the Quilombos. Right. So Dr. Scobie took it to another level. Say when you separate from the white man in your mind, you got to build a Quilombo of the mind. This is brother. He had to leave Dominica because he tried to pull a coup d'etat and overthrow the government. Remember the old girl who was prime minister down there?
Edward Scobie?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, Dr. Scobie used to be the mayor of the capital.
Wow, I didn't know that. Y'all should check him out. Y'all got to check out Professor Edward.
He was the first black man to fly a jet plane. He flew for the Royal Air Force of Britain during the Second World War. Edward Scobie was no joke.
Yeah, I watch him on YouTube. People should check him out. I never got to see him in the colleges out here in New York at that time.
But he taught us in Black Studies. Let me give you just 3 more books real quick.
Yeah, please. Let me put it up in front.
Is an absolute must.
Let me put it in the front.
Be your mind as you learn about Kemet.
Yes, that's a good book.
About Kemet now. Get Stolen Legacy by George G.M. James.
Yes.
He was also murdered for writing this book by 2 British assassinations who killed him down in Alabama.
Really? Whoa.
You know?
Yes.
And then the Exiles of Florida, dealing with the Maroon community in Florida.
Wow. Push that up. Yeah, take your snapshots, family. Get your snapshots. I got a lot of books. Make sure y'all rewind this and take those snapshots. Y'all wanted books. We got the books. Come on. Come on, family.
And this one will literally blow your mind to pieces.
Oh, yes. I got that because of you. I got that by Wade Nobles because of you. Yes, sir.
The Island of Me.
Yes.
Dr. Wade Nobles, the Haitian Unfinished Revolution. But it's talking about the unfinished restoration of the African mind, which is symbolic of the rebellion in Haiti and the revolution in Haiti.
Wow. Wow.
And then the last one is by another one of my great teachers and big brothers, is by Dr. Asa G. Hilliard.
Yes.
And it's The Maroon Within Us.
The Maroon, I didn't get that one. I got, the late, great Asa G. Hilliard. Yes. I got to get that book.
Yeah,
that I need that.
And I brought this because people got to know we've done the work. My generation, we did the work. We've created the scholarship. We've created the information base for you. Get this information and begin to transform yourself.
Right.
You know?
That's right.
Yes, you could celebrate. Let me tell you something. You could celebrate Christmas if you knew what you were celebrating. It's the winter solstice. It's the winter solstice in disguise.
That's right.
Yeah, the white man is celebrating the winter solstice and got you celebrating the white man.
That's right. That's right.
You think now, I'm not trying to be insulting to no one's religion.
That's right.
To hip to something. If you ever look at the picture by who was it, Leonardo da Vinci, who painted the Last Supper?
Leonardo da Vinci, right.
Jesus is sitting in the middle. With light coming from his head.
Right.
He's Ra. He's the sun.
He's the sun, right, exactly.
On either side of him is 2 groups of 3s, representing the 4 seasons, evolving around the sun. The 2 group of 3, the 4 group of 3s, also represent the 12 months evolving on the sun. The Last Supper is nothing to do with no man. It is the solar drama.
Yes.
Y'all hear me? If you think I'm lying, look at the picture. You will see 4 groups where there's 3 people talking to each other, 3 people talking to each other, 3 people talking. 3. They're not paying attention to nobody else but the 3 in those 4 groups.
In those groups, that's right.
In the middle sits Jesus. Not focusing on none of them, looking straight in the head. And he's got this light. He's symbolic of the sun in the cosmology.
Exactly.
And the 4 seasons and the 12 months during the trilogy. Except at this point, when we're going into Easter, we're going into the spring equinox. What is it? Is it the equinox, the spring?
Spring, yes, spring equinox.
Because the reason he goes and dies and comes back, that's when the spring gives birth to itself all the time. The trees get leaves, the grass come back, the bird give birth. That's all it's symbolizing. It's a nature drama in one document. But if you don't understand the document, you there talking about, oh, my Lord is about to go to the cross, oh, hallelujah, Jesus, Good Friday, foolishness. This is the solar drama. This is the ecological drama being taught to an ignorant European people who can't read nor write. So how are you going to teach them? How are you going to raise them in a book? Nobody in Europe could read at this time. Nobody in Europe is writing at this time. So these people have captured Kemet, and they've taken the Kemetic information, and now they're creating a system to teach the Kemetic sacred science to the European world. Do you hear me?
Wow.
And that's just one little tidbit I just dropped on you.
Yeah. People, again, I want y'all to support Brother Small. Let me put his cash up and his stuff back up here because I'm not going to keep him too long. I think him, like every other elder, can keep on going. I think Taaqiy can't make it in because he's running around. But everybody, please go to HAPIfilms.com. That's HAPIfilm.com and check out what's going on. And make sure y'all go to Tariq Nasheed's website and check out what's coming up from his website. Of course, he did all the hiddencolors.com. You find out all the hidden color stuff that's going on.
This one's going to be slamming.
American Maroons. That's going to be powerful. I can't wait to see it because I've been learning about Maroons since I was a child. My aunt was one of those historians that just kept on telling us about these people. And, So
one of the things you're going to learn is that we didn't forget as much of Africa as the world has tried to make us think.
Right.
We just Africans in another space. And I was telling somebody when I first went to Ghana, and they brought me some jollof rice. And they said, oh, we want you to serve our jollof rice. It's so wonderful. I know you've never tasted jollof. I said, oh, my grandmother made jollof every week. They said, what do y'all write jollof? I said, but we call it red rice. We didn't have palm oil, so we had to use tomato paste.
Yes.
Tomato sauce. But we made our jollof rice.
Exactly.
In all kinds of ways. And they said, oh, well, we're going to have some okra stew and fish. Oh, we grow okra. And there was a whole part of the field dedicated to just growing okra. Okra was the slimiest okra in the world, but that was the best okra. But you had to stir that okra to determine whether it's going to be slime or dry. Mama's okra, my mother okra was a very dry okra. She loved it. But we had okra stew and fish stew. And the best fish for stewing with okra was catfish.
Catfish, wow.
So they said, oh, then we're going to get you with the poo-poo. I said, yeah, we call that dumplings. We didn't leave Africa at home. We took it to America in our brain.
I turned it out different names.
To the Caribbean in our brain. And we replicated it wherever we could based on whatever the food chain was that we found ourselves in. You go and eat callaloo, you can find that green, I forgot what they call it in Ghana, but it's callaloo.
Yes, and it's growing in Prospect Park and Central Park.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
So I remember Einstein Springer wrote a piece and it was called the Jazz for Callaloo. That's another sister y'all got to check out. Her name is Einstein Springer. Pearl Springer. She's the poet laureate of Trinidad. Wow. Has written some extraordinary work.
Wow.
I was there. We fought together. We got the government under Pandy. And I was the keynote speaker at Pandy's inauguration when he became prime minister. And we got him to give us Shango Day as a celebration day. They wouldn't give up the national holiday piece, but we got them to give the Spiritual Baptists a national holiday.
Right.
And there's a difference now between the Spiritual Baptists and the Orisha community. The Spiritual Baptist is to Trinidad, but Santeria is to Puerto Rico. Blay is to Brazil. But I come from a shrine that comes from the bush. It's a Yoruba shrine that comes out of Haiti via Grenada from the island of Caracou, where our founding master is buried, who left Haiti after the death of Dessalines, and so many people had to leave. So that's my genesis, my gene. Being a priest of Oya. In addition. So, but that's just again tying myself back to my lineage.
Of course.
Now, Asa Hilliard said true freedom is to be shackled to your identity. True freedom is to be shackled to your identity.
Right.
To learn identity is to master your history.
Yes.
Because your history is the voice of your ancestry instructing you.
Don't say that again, Baba, for the people in the back, man. Say that again for the people in the back.
History is the voice of your ancestors instructing you. Very important. That's why they try to block the 1619 project, the Black Studies Movement project. Because if our history ain't nothing, you say we ain't got, then leave us alone. Let us have our nothing. But you know, if you let that black man restore his mind,
that's it.
You're gonna take care of his behind.
That's right. That's what we do. Well, family, we want to give our professor a well-deserved round of applause. Our father, our teacher. You know, what a great show. What a great show. What a great show. Please hit him up on his Cash App as you see it right there. $ Dr. James Smalls. That's $ Dr. James Smalls. Let me say it again. $ Dr. James Smalls. Hit him up on his Cash App. Show him your appreciation. And I know somebody asked about where are the black bookstores that they can support where they get those books. I know Nicholas Brooklyn in Brooklyn. I know the one in Baltimore. What's the one in Baltimore name again? With Brother Nati and the whole crew. I think it's forgot the name of that bookstore.
Art is on, so that Mark should put that out for people.
Yeah, if she's still on, African World, I think it's African World Books. That's a good book.
And then there's one in Newark. What's the name of the one in Newark?
The one in New York is Source of Knowledge. Source of Knowledge is Nicholas Brooklyn. We have it in Nicholas Brooklyn in Brooklyn. I think Manhattan, they might still have. Wait a minute, Taaqiy is popping up. Wait. Taaqiy is trying to pop in. Taaqiy is trying to pop in. Hold on, let me see what Taaqiy is at. Taaqiy.
Hey, brother Taaqiy.
Hey, what's up, brother Taaqiy? Where you at? What's up, brother Taaqiy? What's up? How you doing, sir? How you doing?
Everything's good, man. We just down here in D.C. getting ready for this screening tonight of Black Empowerment with Tony Browder.
Oh, well, hey, tell him, I know it, right? I know you're in DC right now. Y'all can get the tickets if you want to still make it before they get in and start doing it. If you're in DC or in that area, the DMV area, drive over, HAPI.com, HAPIFilm.com, and then they come into Atlanta where I'm at now. I'm in Georgia now, right over there. We're going to be at the Epic Center on the 11th. So, Professor Smalls, you see your boy Taaqiy in the building. What's up?
Yes, sir. He probably saying, well, you can talk to King Simon, but you're not coming to Atlanta. It's only my knee, if my knee was a little bit better, I'd be on the plane with you, you know.
Listen, this is just the beginning. There's going to be many, many more of these experiences to happen. And I just want to say thank you to everyone, you know, especially you two brothers for being a part of this, the HAPI movement.
Oh, man. Love you, man. Love all of y'all over there. Love what you're doing, man.
The work that you've done. And the things you got set for the future. Now, when are you going to be in Houston?
January 9th.
Woo!
I'll make sure I'm in Houston.
I might even come over there. I might even show over there. What are you doing at the Shrine of Black Madonna?
No. I got to get the information is on the website as well for the Houston tickets. Houston are on sale now. The date is Sunday, January 9th. But Professor Smalls, that would actually be a powerful panel because we got Dr. Nobles, Dr. Rare Nobles, and Sorry Motep on that panel. So we'd love to add you to that bill.
Wow, that would be powerful.
I think the way I'm progressing, I think you can go ahead and advertise me for that one.
Okay. All right. You heard it here first on King Simon.
I heard it right here on King Simon. He gonna be
I went to the surgeon on Thursday, and he told me you don't have to come back and see me for 9 months. So that's a very good.
Oh, that's
sign.
good. That's good.
And in terms of my physical therapy, I'm doing very well in that one. So,
definitely good news.
Man.
All right, brothers, listen, let me get moving. But
all right.
Definitely thank you, King Simon and Professor Smalls. I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Right? Yes.
Thank you, brother.
Right,
thank
brothers,
you.
Take care.
All right, take care. Hold tight. Big up to brother Taaqiy. Yes. My brother Taaqiy came through. He came through last minute as we're closing out. Again, make sure y'all go to happyfilms.com, and again, make sure you support Tariq Nasheed through his website. That's hiddencolors.com, hiddencolorsfilm.com, and make sure you hit Dr. Smalls, Professor Smalls at his Cash App. That's $ Dr. James Smalls. That's $ Dr. James Smalls. Any last word for our people, Professor Smalls, please?
Yeah, I think let's go back to what do people do?
Yes.
I've outlined looking at the Nguzo Saba and practicing those 7 days of Kwanzaa year round.
Yes.
Having set aside 2 hours just to study a history book, one of those books that I've shown or others that you may have with your family, not one person, the whole family.
Right.
And then one day where you're watching one of the videos of one of the great scholars, Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark, Dr. Jeffries, Dr. Hilliard, Dr. Nobles, and you will be surprised. And then work on your diet and exercise.
Yes.
Exercise, it isn't for the question of losing weight or gaining weight or becoming strong and powerful, but it is to make the body work optimally.
Yeah.
And a big bit of that is just stretching and spinning and twisting and walking. And you don't have to leave the house, walk around the coffee table.
That's
20
right.
times. You'll be surprised.
Run up and down the staircase, walk up and down the stairs. That's right. That's right.
And if you would do those things, you will begin to see a change, because the God you're looking for is in the mirror. You look in every day.
Exactly.
But if you've been murdering your God all your life, you got a dead God in the mirror.
That's right. That's right. That's
Stop
right.
doing the healthy things for God, the intellectually healthy things, the spiritual healthy things, the biologically healthy things. And then you will be surprised how the God that you've been searching for, the greatest teacher you will ever meet, is you.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
And when you do, you'll know it.
That's right.
You'll know it.
That's right. That's right. Well, thank you very much, Barbara, man. Thank you very much. Thank you. Much respect to you, your beautiful empress, your whole family, your grandchildren, your great-grand, everybody that's around you, and anybody that has also supported you in this whole thing that you've done with your knee surgery. Please send them some Cash App love, family.
They have been. That's been my army. I've been, me and my wife, we've been on this journey for 50 years.
Wow.
No perfect road now. That road has had downs and ups and sideways. But we made a decision to struggle through the issues and the crisis. The kids have been here every day when I needed one of them. One flew up all the way from Virginia and left her family, husband and children, and spent a whole week taking care of her daddy. And others have come and cooked dinner and food for their mom and me and bring it over to the house.
That's right.
So I've had more support than most people have had and able to count on. And that includes my cousin down the street and the friends who drove me to where, because I couldn't walk for a long while.
Right.
People would come and drive me and wouldn't take any money.
Right.
So I've been very, very blessed and very thankful, very honored.
Let me ask you before you leave: Would you be up to doing a private workshop for relationships and couples?
Yeah, we could work on that. That's an important workshop. Sometimes we separate and break up when we could work some of these things out. Many times we come together without appropriately examining what and why and with whom are we coming together. Some of those things, if we just flesh out, we'll find that we could fix most broken relationships. And even if you can't come together as mates, you can maintain a friendship. I have my girlfriend from 16 years old. We're still friends.
That's right. That's right.
We get to be 76 together, laughing and talking about what we would do on Sundays and this and that. My high school girlfriend that I used to walk home and sit in the swing and give her a little kiss on the cheek on the porch while our uncle was peeping through the curtain at the window. Me and Mary, we still friends. Matter of fact, she just had her knees done too. You know,
wow.
The person I lost my virginity to when I was 18, we're still friends.
Wow.
None of those relationships worked in terms of staying as partners, but we never lost our friendship.
Our friendship, yeah, me too.
These years.
No, you know, and that's why we need to do that. And I wouldn't mind doing a workshop with you, because 50 years is nothing to sneeze at. I mean, I think Professor Jeffries and his wife beat you by a few years, but
yeah, they got me by about 5 or 6 years.
About 5 or 6 years, but you, I think people will really want to listen to those type of energies, and that's why I left a lot of single people alone and started talking to more married people.
A lot of this come back to the same thing we've been discussing. It comes back to self-identity. It comes back to being shackled to your identity. It comes back to knowing African history. When we, like the discussion, people are saying, we are Aborigines. We Aborigines everywhere. We're the first people.
Right.
It shouldn't even be a discussion or an argument. When the Native Americans, so-called, the Asiatics crossed the Bering Strait, we were here thousands upon thousands of years. We warred with them for 10,000 years before the white man got here.
Mm-hmm.
It's another story.
Right.
But we amalgamated with them in many regards, married into them,
Right.
And when the whites got here, they weren't Asiatics anymore. They were red because they married the blacks.
Yes.
Long story.
Yeah. Long story.
People need to study history.
Yes.
You will embrace the mystery, and you will just enjoy your beautiful life that you gave to yourself by your mother and your father. Remember, ancestors, when your mother and father gave birth to you, they gave birth to themselves.
Yes.
When you give birth to your children, you're giving birth to yourself. And your mother and father was given birth to by your grandparents, and your grandparents were given birth to by your great-grandparents. So what does that make you but the ancestors waiting to be informed by history and having your memory restored about the time when you lived under another name?
That's right.
I hope y'all get that, got that, use that.
Exactly. Now, any email people can email you at real quick, because people are asking me through the text, and I don't want to talk about the jab and none of that on this line.
It's AAM PON SA3 at gmail.com.
At Gmail. So people who want to, who's been texting me, they just started texting me, because I do have the text a question, and somebody just texted me, but they're talking about the whole jab and stuff, and I don't want to talk about that on this because I don't want anybody shutting. But you can email him that question.
And that's my stool name. I'm Nana Kofi and Pansa.
Right.
I'll be a go-go stool and
so
the king of go-go in Ghana.
Email him at that. That person that just texted me, please email me. Email him at that email. He's asking about
AMPONSA3 at gmail.com.
They're asking about the Yoruba religion and all that in regards to exemption, but they want to see if any exemption. So please, you can email him that. We're not going to talk about that on this, because this was directed to certain things dealing with the ancestors and honor. But once again, Bob, I want to thank you again. Thank you very much. I want to give you a round of applause for being on. Showing me love, and we're going to talk, and I'll hit you up if anything. Definitely going to spread some cash out love your way in a few. So thank you very much, Baba, all the time.
Okay, my brother. Peace and blessings, and peace and blessings to the family.
Peace and blessings to the family. You too, Baba. I love you. Love you.
Love you too. Hotep.
Hotep. That's the great Baba Smalls. Give him a round of applause. Give him a round of applause. Give him a round of applause. Yeah, somebody just texted me about the jab, and I don't want to talk about that, because I know these people be eliminating people's pages and shadow banning people. I ain't got no time for that. But if you do want to contact Baba Smalls, please email him at this particular email right here. This is his email. And of course, you'll see his, this is his Cash App, Spread Love via Cash App. Of course, donations is always good for people like him, man. That Dr. Smalls, Dr. James Smalls at Cash App. Again, this is the email. Show him some love. If you want to ask him questions, he counsel relationships. He does counsel relationships, so he does relationships. But I'm gonna try to do a private workshop with him as far as relationship is concerned. Man, been with his wife, who's a registered nurse for 50 years. Believe me, those are people I talk to. I talk to Oswald Crazy when I need relationship advice. I talk to him. I talk to Professor Jeffries. I used to talk to Dr. Africa and his wife, and Dr. Phil Valentine. Those are the people, especially if the order for us to build good communities, we have to have good relationship with our partners or our friends or friends that we make into partners. But it has to be a balance. It can't be half slanted and halfway. It can't be all over the place. That's why, like I said earlier on my IG, if you follow me on IG, and please do follow me on IG. This is my IG and Twitter. If you do want to follow me on IG, that's IG is King Simon Productions with an S at the end of Productions at FB IG. Twitter is at King Simon Prod. Also, I got a new TikTok, and that's King Simon the Numerovator at TikTok. So I'm going to be dropping some numerational stuff on TikTok, 1 minute stuff, real quick information. Bop, bop, bop. I spoke about the owner of TikTok and his numbers. He's born on April the 1st, 1983, and I broke down his numbers real quick because his life path is an 8 and why he deals with money, power, and executive moves, and now he owns TikTok and making millions of dollars. It's a Chinese guy too. His name is Zhang Yamin. Zhang Yamin, that's the name of that guy. So again, family, hit me up, follow me right now. Go click on my Instagram. That's my links, King Simon Productions at Instagram, Facebook, King Simon Prod on Twitter. Of course, my Cash App is scrolling on the bottom. Big up to my co-hosts, them that usually are here. They'll be here this Wednesday. They'll be here with me this Wednesday. My co-hosts, Sister Nujurney and Sensei Sherly will be with us this coming. Those are their links right there. And also, don't forget, big up Professor James Smalls. Once again, hit him up on his Cash App. That's $ Dr. James Small, $ Dr. James Small. For HAPI, all the HAPI events that's coming up, go to HAPIFilm.com. We just had Brother Taaqiy on HAPIFilm.com. Big up to Dr. Moses Powell's daughter that was just on, Cheryl Powell. Big up to Sabir Bey that I seen on Facebook. Big up to Patah and I seen on Facebook, and everybody that came on Facebook, Dr. Ma'at, and all of you. I'm shouting all of you out on online right now. I'm giving y'all a big round of applause. All of y'all for coming on. Yeah, we're gonna have Sister Shahrazad Ali. I spoke to her last week. We'll be bringing her back on. Sister Shahrazad Ali dropping some excellent information. Yes, we're gonna have her back on, of course. We're definitely gonna have her back on her. So again, this is a troll-free zone. So trolls, respectfully go somewhere else with that bullcrap. And if you want to email Professor Smalls, this is his email right here. Hit him up on his email. Write it down. Take a snapshot right now of his email. Go take a snapshot of his email. He does counseling. He does couples counseling. He does those type of counseling to give you some guidance, to refer some books, give you a bibliography. Of course, he's going to show you that love. That's how Baba Kaba is. That's how Baba James Small is. Speaking of Kaba, I got Kaba coming up, but he's going to be co-hosting with me and my co-host as we interview Ron Lax, the grandson of Henrietta Lax. Of course, what happened with herself. We're going to be interviewing the grandson of Henrietta Lax right here on December the 19th. Woo, that's going to be powerful, family. You don't want to miss that one. Because he's going to talk about it. But let's start this music. Let me get on out of here. Okay. Let me get on out of here, family. Okay, just want to remind you, this coming Wednesday, don't forget this Wednesday. This is what we're doing. This is how we do. We're going to have Priestess Yendez, Nephra Atum, speaking on Stop Suffering in Silence, ladies. Brothers, if you have women that are suffering from menopause, this sister's going to break down the physical and spiritual aspect of what menopause is, and it's nothing to be hurtful. It's something to understand, and what we need to understand with our women, what they're going through. And if you love your women and they're going through it, and they're going through it at early ages now, this sister's going to drop it from a spiritual and perspective and physical perspective, and how to stop suffering in silence and become a menopause goddess. Oh yeah, she gonna drop it hard. And don't forget, family, I'm gonna let you know this is what my team be doing. We doing call-in conversation any given Wednesdays. We're gonna be doing a call-in conversation. So look out for that. Look out for that. Also, if you're in Georgia, I'm gonna be doing some events in the Mountain of Stone, Crystal City, baby. I'm gonna be doing health, wealth, and metaphysics event. Already Phil Valentine is confirmed. Ashwa Quasi is confirmed. Baba Kaba is confirmed. Ron Lax is going to be confirmed about his grandmother. Henrietta Lax is going to be talking about that. Also, I might be traveling, but I'm supposed to be doing this on December 30th. I might be traveling to Florida, so I might postpone this to another time. But this is Astro Numerotron that I'm going to do, a mini Numerotron that I'm going to do. And it's going to be from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. featuring King Simon and his astrology and numerology and spiritual metaphysical friends. I might postpone this till January, sometime in January, or do it for Black History Month. More than likely, I'm going to do that. But also big up to my friend and dear good friend, Paris. She's an exclusive designer for soap making classes. She got an exclusive designer soap making class. If you want to learn how to make your own soap and product, those things that you see in her hand and see on the page, that's soap. It look like cake. It look like candy. Well, it's happening on Saturday, January the 15th from 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. And all you have to do is go to the website below. Let me take that off, that scroll off of there so y'all can see the website below. Because if you see that website, you want to take a class, the website is pwcollections.com/products/soap class at Nicholas, Brooklyn. It's happening in Nicholas, Brooklyn, in New York City. Nicholas, Brooklyn, number 718-858-4400. That's 718-858-4400 if you want to learn to make celebrity soaps or designer soaps, just like you see on the page right there. So big up to my girl, my good friend, the one, the only Paris Williams, presented by the celebrity soap and product maker and producer, Paris Williams. She's going to be doing that class. That class is going to be off the hook. Also, if you're in the New York tri-state area and you need some health advice, if you want to get health insurance, this sister can help you out. That's one of our co-hosts, Sensei Sherly, and you can email her at sherlystc. That's sherlystc@gmail.com. Be patient. She will respond to you within 24 hours or 72 hours after you send the email. Also, the return of Better Health Shop. That's right, Better Health Shop is back on board, family. Make sure you show them some love. Go to Better Health Shop right now. This is their website, betterhealthshop.etsy.com. After all the flus and all the jabberwockies going on, they got the burdock root, they got the sea moss, they got all of the good stuff that you can cleanse your system, cleanse your blood, and give them a call at 1-800-820-7822. That's 1-800-820-7822. Tell them King Simon sent you. Believe me, they got some great stuff. And also, if you are a writer, you're an author, you need some editing service, call this sister right here, Susie Script, at 914-361-9467. You got a book inside of you? You got a children's book inside of you? This sister can help you. 914-361-9467. That's 914-361-9467. Or email at the email that's on there and what's going on right now. Also, check out this. This is PetterWise.com. Good friend of mine from out of Florida, but she got some great products. Not only immune products, products for the immune buildup, but she also got products for the fibroids, women that are suffering from tumors and fibroids and belly problems and all kinds of stuff, vaginal problems. This sister got some great products, but she also does consultation. Make sure you email her or hit her up at PetterWise.com. That's PetterWise.com, and use the coupon code, the 10% off coupon code. That's King2021. Tell them King Simon sent you. You know what we doing. And don't forget my brother Lloyd Strayhorn. He got his classes, baby. He got his classes. Go to his website, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. That's Lloyd-Strayhorn.com right now. Well-renowned astronumerologist, one of my teachers and my brothers from another mother and father, and he be doing it. I'm telling you, putting in that work. And if you want any real estate throughout the tri-state area, all you have to do is contact Janelle Lewis. That's the number right there, 347-866-1153. That's 347-866-1153. Tell him King Simon sent you, and that's it. Don't forget about my classes. That's right. If you want to learn the holistic numerovation course, all you have to do is email me, or you can wait for it to go on Udemy. Big up to Jackie Levine, who's going to be putting it on Udemy for me. So big up to her all the time. And don't forget, get my books. My books are available on Amazon throughout everything. 3 of the books are published by Dr. Africa. So when you support me, you support Dr. Africa's legacy. And don't forget, you can go to Linktree/King Simon the Numerovator. That's Linktree/King Simon the Numerovator to get all of my books. I'm telling you right now. And don't forget, if you want to do a numerovation session with me, all you have to do is text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. Let me say it again for you. 347-496-1022. Remember, the study of numbers is applied mathematics. Learn how to apply your mathematics, and they will guide you. And do remember, I do have a waiting list, so please be patient, and I will help you out. And here's the disclaimer, family. Let me turn down the music for this. Content disclaimer: the views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters or its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. And the other disclaimer is copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use. For purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research, fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Yeah, baby, that's your brother. I gotta get on out of here, family. Yes, I used to do radio, so that's why I can do what I do. I've done television, radio, and doing all that kind of stuff. So, hey, honoring my ancestors, honoring my voice, honoring your power, showing you your respect. Let me close out with a prayer, because we got a prayer time we gotta close out with. I love you. Hold on. Don't forget, I'm gonna close out with David Blair's prayer right now. So hold on, family. We got a prayer that we're going to shut up with. So everybody take a deep breath right now. Let's cut out. Let's calm it down. I know I've been energized. Let's calm it down. Everybody relax. Take a deep breath. Everybody take 3 deep breaths. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's calm it down. One more time, and exhale again as we are about to salute Dr. Delbert Blair. This is a prayer that was invented by Dr. Delbert Blair. If you want to support his legacy, look on the website. Look on the site right now. His website is themetacenter2.com. That's themetacenter2.com. For his books, he wrote 4 books. I think 3 to 4 books he has. I already got 3 of them. He has the Faraday Tech protectors. He has the magnets for your back and lower extremities and all that. He has the diodes, and Brother Tony is handling that right now. The metacenter2.com. That's the metacenter2.com. Prayer time, family. Let's do it. Please, universal creator, know in my heart that I love you. Please protect me and this planet on which I live now. Please open my mind, my spirit, and my soul to receive only truth and your love now. Let me say it in a holistic way, including everybody. Please, universal creator, know in our hearts that we love you. Please protect us and this planet on which we live now. Please open our minds, our spirits, and our souls to receive only truth and your love now. Let's give Dr. Delbert Blair a well-deserved round of applause as we honor our Dr. Delbert Blair. Thank you, Delbert Blair, for this prayer. Thank you. Everybody take a snapshot of it, and you can use it every day. Say it before you leave the house. Say it before you go to bed. Say it. It's a mantra. It's a prayer. It's Dr. Blair's prayer and mantra that he left to us back in the day. So show love to Dr. Blair. Again, you can go to his website. That's his website right there, the metacenter2.com, the metacenter2.com. My family, I love you regardless of land, label, or language. There's but one God, like Dr. Khalid used to say, and like Marcus Mosiah Garvey used to say, up, you mighty nation, you could accomplish what you will. Have a great day, afternoon, or evening, wherever you watch this, whatever time you watch this. And remember, we'll be right back on with the one, the only Mama Yendez. That's Professor Small. Mama Yendez will be here with us this coming Wednesday, live and direct. So don't touch that dial, and make sure you share, like, and do what you like. I'll see y'all. Be safe, be focused, protect your mental business, and stay out of other people's mental business. One love. Take care.
Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com. That's KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com, or Linktree at King Simon the Numerovation. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for mental stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Number are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com. Go now.